The importance of the role of social media on the Arab uprisings has been largely debated. Some say that social media was the main instigator of the uprisings, and others claim that it was merely a tool that was used by a very small number of people in the actual uprisings, but then essentially was used outside of those areas of conflict to spread information or to spread propaganda, according to some. Either way, the perception of social media has changed. Its role in the uprisings demonstrated to the world that it had substantial power in increasing the political voice to those who previously didn't have much. And such information allowed the world to stay updated with protests and help to facilitate organizing. What this helped to do was to create a window into areas that otherwise were shut off. That in media voids, when traditional media had been cut off, social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, provided great opportunities to show and exploit what actually was going on. It became much more difficult for countries to actually close off what was happening to the rest of the world. And the greatest example of that was what happened in Egypt. The protests in Egypt began on the 25th of January 2011, and they ran for 18 days. Beginning around midnight on January 28th, the Egyptian government attempted, and fairly successfully so, to eliminate the nation's internet access in order to inhibit the protesters' ability to organize through social media. We can take a look here. This is the internet activity in Egypt, and you can see that it virtually is shut off around midnight, moving into January 28th. This is pretty remarkable. Now, it would be impossible to do something like this in the United States, where we have many more sources of information, many more internet service providers. But this was a remarkable step taken by Egypt and shows how important they believed that social media and the internet was to the organizers of these protests. And in fact, a poll suggested that 9 out of 10 Egyptians and Tunisians responded that they used Facebook to organize protests and spread awareness of what was going on. Furthermore, 28% of Egyptians and 29% of Tunisians from the same poll said that blocking Facebook greatly hindered and or disrupted their communication. So there is no doubt that social media does matter. It does increase their ability to organize, increase the voice of those people who are trying to criticize the government, criticize the powers that be, and create a window into areas that are otherwise blocked off. What this also does is to bring up an important question about the power of the state, the power of nations to control what information we get, to control the information that we have online, to control our internet access in general. And this is one of the first and arguably the most important argument against the democratizing power of the internet, the power of the state.